Philly's going to be shorthanded, hoping for some more Shake Milton magic. Josh Richardson will be out after suffering a concussion in that loss Sunday against the Clippers. He has started 45 out of 47 games he's played this season. Meanwhile, Joel Embiid sprained his left shoulder last Wednesday in Cleveland, expected to be reevaluated later this week. Embiid had just scored a career-high 49 points in his last game before getting hurt. And Ben Simmons, he remains out with a nerve impingement in his back. Simmons aggravated a previous injury after playing just 4 minutes in Philly's loss to the Bucks on February 22nd. Now, Sixers head coach Brett Brown said this regarding Simmons and Embiid on Monday to the USA Today in their sports section. I am personally convinced those two are going to win a championship at some point in their careers, and that they, for sure, can coexist. The myth is that they can't. I think that is so abused and not articulated the way I see it. Stephen A. Smith back with us here with much more on Brett Brown's comments. Stephen A., how realistic is it that the Sixers can win a future title with Embiid and Simmons playing together?
Well, here's my answer. I don't think it seems that likely with Brett Brown as the coach. And I'm not somebody advocating for him to be fired, but I don't think that Brett Brown needs to be pointing out the greatness of Embiid and Simmons and the expectations that should come associated with them when you're the coach that can't seem to get them to win road games. Last time I checked, I went on the road to win a title. These guys have lost 8 straight on the road. They're 2-14 in their last 16 home games, if I remember correctly. They've got 2 wins against the New York teams, the Knicks and Brooklyn Nets. They are 0-14 everywhere else since Christmas. Now, that's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. And so when you look at it from that perspective, you're sitting there bloviating about what these guys can be. Well, if you're so confident in them, what Brett Brown is not realizing is it forces us to look at him because why the struggles? Why were you the 5th seed before Ben Simmons got hurt? Before Joel Embiid got hurt, you were a 5th or 6th seed vacillating back and forth between the two. Why is that the case if they are so great? That means you might not be handling your business, Brett Brown. I hope he gets it together because I actually like him as a person.
Let's get to that seeding here. Now, the Heat, they beat the Bucks last night for the 2nd time this season. Philly's 2 back of Miami for that 4th spot. They're now tied with the Pacers for that 5-6 seed. Where do you think the Sixers fit in the East right now? I'm not talking about these numbers. I'm talking about your opinion.
I believe that Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston, and Miami are definitively better and more reliable than the Philadelphia 76ers, who have been a roller coaster ride, okay? They personified what Six Flags is all about. They got to get their act together, okay? But in the end, when you look at the Sixers, from a talent perspective, we know what a healthy Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons can do. This kid, Shake Milton, who dropped 39 on the Clippers, who went 3 games where he hit 13 consecutive three-pointers, a total of 13 consecutive three-pointers. If you get that kind of shooting from somebody, with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid on the floor, the Philadelphia 76ers could beat anybody in the Eastern Conference. They could come out of the East and represent the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals. But that's a big if, because can Shake Milton do that continuously? And is Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid going to be healthy? Too many question marks, and we didn't even get to Brett Brown. Oh, by the way, we already talked about Brett Brown. Too many questions right now about the Sixers.
We didn't even get to Tobias Harris and that big contract, as well as Al Horford, and that is surrounding the Sixers team. All those question marks.
How do we know it's not coaching when it comes to Tobias Harris? How do we know?
See, we went full circle here in this Q&A. Stephen A. Smith here on SportsCenter.
Full circle. That's what we do. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.